Hi, I'm Susan Rushton, and this is AhMuse. This is the one where I'm thrilled to, I'm delighted to, I'm honored to talk to people who have been enamored by the muses. And so that's what AhMuse is all about. My guest today is Leslie Rodgers. Thank you, Leslie. She is the president of the board of directors for Auburn Symphony. And if you want to learn more about the Auburn Symphony, and of course you do, please log on to auburnsymphony.com. If you want to talk to or ask Leslie any questions, her email is lrodgers.auburnsymphony@gmail.com, or you can just drop by 985 Lincoln Way in Suite 102 in Auburn, or phone them 530-823-6683, or you can email them auburnsymphonyoffice@gmail.com. There we go. Okay, you have all that information, and now we get to talk to Leslie. Thank you for coming, Leslie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. So, how long have you been a fan of classic music?
Forever.
Yeah.
I grew up in a household that was all about music, so I was fortunate to have parents who were both musical, and
Explain how.
My mother is a piano player. She plays piano, not professionally, but she plays piano, and my father played the saxophone. Mm-hmm. And so there was always music, and my parents loved jazz specifically and classical music.
Gee, maybe they're my parents too.
And they really believed in taking my brother and I to live concerts.
Yes.
Growing up. So I always had an appreciation for music, and it was always playing in my house.
Yes. I remember my mother saying, okay, get dressed, we're going to go to a symphony. I've been to a symphony, I said. She said, I've read a book. Oh yeah, I get it. And I did. Not then really, but I certainly got it now. It's thrilling to know that you grew up in a musical family who loved music, and you still love music. Do you play?
I do not.
Okay.
I took piano lessons when I was growing up. But,
me too.
And my brother is extremely musical.
Mine too.
Going to high school in the 70s, they transported people. The district lines were very stringent, and I ended up attending a high school in the San Francisco Bay Area that did not have a music program. So that was unfortunate. But yes. I was super involved in school. But my brother went to a different high school. He's a couple years younger than myself. And he was involved in the music program and played all the saxophones and clarinet so forth. And he had a wonderful experience in high school.
There was always something going on in your house.
Always. Yeah.
My parents had two pianos in the living room. And my father and my little brother, oh man. And I grew up and I left that house not knowing how to count music. I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. But I can't count music-wise. I can. Oh, that's a nice. Oh, that's a nice. Oh, yeah. But I can't. I can't do that. And I envy and admire people who can.
Absolutely.
Oh my.
I do too. Gosh,
yes. So you grew up in a musical household, and you left, and you have a son. I have here we want to focus on your son, and you're serving as president of Music Boosters for 3 years. What did your son do?
Yeah, so my son, I should maybe back up a little bit. So relocated from the San Francisco Peninsula to Auburn over 2 decades ago, mainly because I felt like the community here in Auburn was the community that I grew up in on the peninsula. And so with the dot-com boom and things really changing on the peninsula, I was really after that connected sense of community. And I'll tell you, Auburn delivered.
You got it. We have it, you guys.
That's right. So he spent his entire childhood here. We moved here when he was just one. Went to Skyridge Elementary and then Evie Kane and then Placer High School. And he was involved in music throughout his tenure at those schools.
Yes.
And so it was through that involvement that the light bulb kind of went off for me, and I realized that while I was involved in high school with cheerleading and student government and all those sorts of things, that sense of connectedness that exists in music is unique to music. It crosses all socioeconomic barriers. It connects people of all different subject matters, and it's just unique in that way. And my brother had that sense of community. And has lifelong friends that he met in high school music, and so it was so important to me that my son have that same experience. And Placer delivered, thanks a lot
Placer
in part.
High School,
yeah, that's right. And David Lawrenson, an amazing teacher and music director.
Let's say that again.
David Lawrenson, music director at Placer High School. He has a fantastic program and really gives the kids so much, a lifelong love of music, even if they don't go on to become music majors. He just really focuses on a well-rounded appreciation, lifelong appreciation of music, and it is absolutely critical to who my son is today as an adult.
Yes. Where is your son now?
He is living in Reno currently. He is a graduate of University of Nevada, Reno. He has a bachelor's degree in history, a master's degree in history from there. He participated in marching band there for 4 years, found that same sense of connectedness in college, and now he's about to start Washington State University, a doctorate program in history in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's playing...
He plays the trumpet.
Plays the trumpet.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And what about you here? What about you? What does it mean to be a president of the board of directors? What are you doing?
Well, it's indeed an honor. So during Blair's experience at Placer High School, I was asked to serve as president of the Music Boosters, and I did that for 3 years. And then when I termed out there and my son graduated, they made me president emeritus, so I still serve that organization today, and happy to do that because I believe in the education that it provides these students, and I really enjoy being around the high school students. I really do.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I cook a clam chowder for them annually at their homecoming game, and I haven't missed a concert. I haven't missed one of Placer Music's concerts in over 10 years now.
Wow.
So
you're a busy lady.
Yeah,
then. Yes.
very busy. Yes. So through that experience, Rob Haswell, the former executive director of the Auburn Symphony, was after me to join the board of directors, and I felt like I didn't have that time until my son graduated from high school and went on to his college career. And so after that time, Rob stepped down from being executive director, and Ann Brown stepped up, and I knew Ann because we were both parents of music students in the music.
What a surprise!
The music program at Placer High School, and so Ann's like, I really wish you would think about joining the board, and so we began some conversations about that. And I do have a full-time job. I do work full-time, and so she was like, do you think you would have time? And it's just passion. I just believe in giving back to the community, a community that's given so much to my family and to my son and his upbringing, and I just really believe in the power of music and connectedness. So I agreed to serve on the board, and I served, this is my 6th year on the board. I served as treasurer for 4 years during some very difficult times for us, and happy to say
COVID,
that
you mean?
COVID.
Mm.
Yeah, we had the departure of our music director,
Yeah.
Peter Jaffe.
Oh, that was tough.
Which was tough, and then replacing him during COVID was also tough.
Yes.
But I think we've met all those challenges spectacularly, and it was an okay parting. Peter is a very busy man,
Yes.
and something had to go in his schedule, and we really did understand.
Yeah. We
that
did, but we didn't like it.
I know.
But yeah.
But now we have fast forward to
Yes.
having Ryan Murray, who's
Yes.
absolutely spectacular. We're just so blessed to have him at the helm, and
Yeah.
he's just starting to come into his own, and the musicians love him, and
Good.
we're going places, so
Yes,
it's very
yes.
exciting.
And how do I know that the musicians love him? Well,
That's right.
it's wonderful.
That's exactly right. So to answer your question, I was very honored to be asked to step up when Stephanie Snyder, our past president, stepped down. I was asked to step up as president, and I have a background, my day job, I'm a CFO and operations manager for an investment advisory firm, and I have a degree in business management. So I love applying business principles to a nonprofit, because we really are a business.
Yes,
it's a
you
little
are.
softer
Yeah.
lens to not running a nonprofit, but nonetheless,
But you still have to make money.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You still have to keep the wheels on the bus and pay
Sure.
the bills. So there are a lot of principles that
So
apply.
what, as president, what are some of the things you do?
Yeah, so the president is the chair of the board of directors. So, of course, we have monthly meetings. We have 10 directors currently that serve on the board. We are responsible at all levels. So we have a fiduciary responsibility to the organization.
Excuse me, I don't know what fiduciary means.
Yes, fiduciary means that we have a bottom line responsibility for the finances of the Auburn Symphony, the nonprofit. So not only do we have to be in compliance and do things like file taxes and so forth,
that.
but since we are a nonprofit and we run based on donations and sponsorships, and sure, there's a little bit of earned income from ticket revenue, but we're responsible to shepherd those gifts that people in the community give us, and to make sure that they're used in a fashion that the donor requested. If they specifically ask that it go towards one of our many outreach programs, then it's our responsibility.
Kids moving.
Yes, if we do Symphony Goes to School,
Yeah.
it's our responsibility to spend that wisely, prudently, and to make sure that their dollar goes as far as possible while honoring their wishes.
Yeah.
And so it's a big responsibility.
Sure.
A great deal of what we do when we have monthly meetings, we have of course, many committees. I serve on many of the committees, and it's my responsibility as president to make sure that those committees are staffed and chaired by the correct person who perhaps it's their wheelhouse.
This sounds exhausting.
It is. It's like running a business, but it's all exciting.
Yeah.
And so, our finance committee meets monthly and reviews in great detail our profit and loss statement, our balance sheet, looks at how things are going, and then during my tenure as treasurer, I felt, back to your question about what is fiduciary, what does that mean? I felt really strongly that everyone should understand at an elementary level what it meant to have fiduciary responsibility. And so when I first stepped on the board and looked at these ginormous spreadsheets, of course I love spreadsheets, that's right in my wheelhouse, but I'd look around at my colleagues and some of them would just, you could see their eyes rolling back in their head a little bit, and it's just overwhelming. You're looking at 20 pages of a budget and performance, and are we under budget, over budget on these line items? And I thought, we need to boil this information down to a single page, what I call a financial snapshot, where we talk about our cash balances, of course, because you have to know what do you have, And then the next question is, what are our expenses and what is our income, right? Because you've got to have income to afford these expenses. And so to boil it down to that elementary level, that's what we look at every month at our board meeting, is not this 30-page spreadsheet that the finance committee has already looked at, but the single page snapshot that talks about how are we doing this month? Did we get the income that we expected? And if we didn't, do we understand why we didn't? Is it a matter of timing? Usually that's the case. And then when we get to the expenses part, again, did we hit the mark on our budget? Were those expenses as we expected, or did they run under or over, and do we understand why? And this has been a game changer for many of of my colleagues who have served on the board for very long. They really love that they can see that on one page.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's not, so your work is not just delighting in the music.
Right.
It's not just, oh my God, listen, wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. But
There's
way away from music.
Exactly. And then we do have a staff. So the
Yes,
staff,
you
in essence, the board of directors is the boss of the staff. So we have an executive director, a business manager. We have fantastic, amazing staff. I don't know how they do what they do. They are so dedicated and just equally passionate about the things that we do. We have a stage manager, an assistant production manager. Of course, our music director, Ryan Murray, is one of our employees, if you will. I mean, we don't look at him that way, but
But he gets paid.
Yes.
The head violin player gets paid, right?
They receive stipends. So we break things down. There are bowings, there are services that people receive payment for. So in a nonprofit, it's really important to understand that our musicians are volunteers. They're all volunteers. This is very different than the professional symphonies that you see around, and
I want to stop there. I am just thoroughly impressed by the fact that most of these musicians are not paid, but they do so well, so often, so much so that they give me chills and tears. They do, and I'm just honored.
Yes.
And
and they come, as I was talking about earlier, this sense of connectedness, this family feeling. Many of them have full-time professions.
Yeah.
Right? They're teachers, they're doctors, they're lawyers. They come from all walks of life, and yet they come together weekly. Almost every week of the year, they have practice on Tuesday evenings, and they're thrilled to be there. Many drive from long distances, from Sacramento, Davis, from Grass Valley, etc., because of this sense of community. And also, they get to play music that they love with Ryan, who's an incredibly talented music director. So we're just really fortunate to have such amazing talent right here. It's my quest to make sure that people know that the Auburn Symphony exists, because it's just a jewel.
Yes, it is.
We need to treasure that.
Oh my, yeah. And we've talked about the community that music creates. Is there another reason you like music so much?
Well, I enjoy music, at a personal level, whether I play music or not, which I don't. I wish that I did play an instrument. I love listening to music. There is no feeling like music, and particularly listening to music in person. During COVID, I think that really became evident when you were unable to go into a hall. Sure, you can play vinyl and you can do all of these things, but it's not the same thing. And so when we were able to return to performance, I think it just really hit home with a lot of people how special it is to have live music. We the other part about being involved, you asked about why I personally am involved with the symphony. I really love that we're promoting the sense of community that's beyond music. We have this big quest to do collaborations. We're collaborating with the Plaster Artist Tour, and we're doing events together where we used to just do, symphony in the park. It's symphony and art in the park, right?
I love that.
And so the artists join us, and really we're stronger together. Our community is stronger together. We're really excited about a new collaboration with the Placer Land Trust, and on April 28th, we have this special event. It's called Symphony Under the Sky. Mm-hmm. And it is a
April 28th.
Yeah, April 28th. April 28th. And we're excited about that. Had overwhelming response. Within 24 hours, we had the event filled. It's a hike in the Larson Preserve, and then we will have musicians.
Where's the Larson Preserve?
It's off of Lone Star area.
Okay.
And as with many of the Placer Land Trust events, they have to keep the parking down, right? These are protected preserves that people get to go to. So unfortunately, it's completely booked. But we've heard Auburn.
It's completely booked. Wow.
We know that there's a demand for this. So we're very excited about the overwhelming demand, and there will be events in the future. Wow. But back to what the event is, it's a 1.4 mile light hike, and as you're walking, there will be musicians, small ensembles of musicians out, and that's why we call it Symphony Under the Sky. Wow. So it's just another example of these new percolating collaborations with other nonprofits in the community, and we're just so blessed.
What a kick.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Yes. And so so that's April 28th, and we are currently at the beginning of April, and which means that
which is Arts Advocacy Month. Did you know that? Arts Advocacy Month.
Wow.
April is Arts Advocacy Month.
What a good idea.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be at the end of this week, April 7th. Right? Okay.
On Sunday.
On Sunday, we're going to have lovely stuff.
Yes, our annual gala, which is our largest fundraiser of the year. We're very excited about that.
Yeah.
So we'll be gathering, and
we did gather, I guess.
Yeah. And Ryan will announce the new season, what he has in store for everyone. That's the first time he will reveal to any of us what we will be listening to next year. So that's very exciting.
Yes.
And we really depend on the fundraising efforts of the gala. It's a large portion of what we raise so that we can deliver our many community outreach programs as well as concerts to the community.
Okay. And since we're in April at the moment, the next month is May, and May 2nd is the big day of giving, and which you have all heard about. And you, the symphony, can get money that way.
Yes, many people know that on the Big Day of Giving, you can go to the website, the Big Day of Giving website, and from there, we know there are so many just worthy charities and nonprofits. It's not possible to support all causes, but we're so appreciative of any contributions that people are able to make, and you can choose on that website of the hundreds of nonprofits that are available. You can find information about us there.
Find the Auburn Symphony.
And the Big Day of Giving is not just, it is celebrated on May 2nd. That's the culmination. That is the Big Day of Giving. But it's my understanding that the giving platform is open on April 21st. And so we felt like this collaboration with Placer Land Trust was such a good kickoff to this season of giving, the Big Day of Giving. And so we'll be around at the Art Park on May 2nd. So
Now, where is the Art Park?
that is a stone's throw. Our office is located in the State Theater office building, and so it's just right around the corner.
Okay, where the umbrellas are?
There are places to sit, etc.
Yeah.
It's right. It's
Yeah.
almost right next door to where our office is, and then we'll be joined by our friends from Placer Artist Tour, and our staff will be there from 4 to 7 p.m. On that afternoon to thank people who would like to come by. But you're welcome to come by our office anytime. We're open Tuesday through Friday, from 9 to 4. So we love it when people stop by and share their experiences with us.
And the office address is 985 Lincoln Way, Suite 102, in the theater, essentially in the theater. Do you have a favorite kind of music?
Not really, surprisingly. I really just love all sorts of music. If I had to say what is my least favorite, I'd have to say country music, but I don't dislike it. It just would be...
It's
right.
It's there, but down there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you like jazz?
I love jazz. I frequently go to the Mondavi to see whatever jazz musicians, up-and-coming jazz musicians are performing. And I absolutely love classical music. I love the newness that Ryan brings to our program, because not only is he delivering, the classics, but he's also helping us see most important modern composers, as he did at our Masterworks 3. So he's really delivering a little something for everyone, and I think that is key to making everybody happy.
Yes, okay.
Really
and you
great.
did mention Mondavi.
Yes.
You went down to Mondavi, and there's... I,
We.
you and I are going to be at Mondavi and Davis listening to the symphony doing Fantasia.
Yes, we are so...
What is that date?
We are so thrilled. That is on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th, at the Mondavi Center. At 3 p.m., the concert begins at 3 p.m., we will be performing Disney's Fantasia live to film. And what that means is the beautiful Disney film will be shown over the head of the orchestra, who will play every note.
Yeah.
So you're getting the soundtrack live with the visual of the beautiful Disney film. And what's really exciting is Ryan is only one of 50 conductors in the United States who is vetted by Disney and approved to do such a thing. So we're just so lucky that he's able to do that, and our musicians are absolutely thrilled and so excited. Practices have begun.
Oh, good.
And so they're preparing.
Neat.
And it'll be wonderful. We're almost sold out, and so that's a very exciting thing for us as well.
So if you're almost sold out, that means if you want to go and you don't have your tickets yet, please email auburnsymphonyoffice@gmail.com.
Actually, if you want to go, you need to go directly to the Mondavi. The Mondavi website, or contact the box office at Mondavi, because unfortunately we have no control or part in the selling of tickets for that event.
And so it's almost sold out, and then there are 1,600 seats.
Yes, isn't that fantastic? It's wonderful. So we really hope that this will attract some new fans
Sure.
of the Auburn Symphony, and we're expanding our reach. We're, again, this is just a once in a lifetime. We will not be doing Disney productions all the time.
Right.
It's extremely costly to do, to put on such a thing, but we felt like this is so unique, and to reach the greater Placer County audience, people may come and experience and really understand how phenomenal the playing level. Disney does not usually allow anything other than a professional orchestra to play. So not only was it important that Ryan was approved by Disney, but our orchestra had to be approved by Disney, and they definitely met that hurdle, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Leslie Rodgers, President of the Board of Directors for Auburn Symphony.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we hope to see everyone in the concert hall.
Everyone in the concert hall.
Yes.
Everyone. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.